There was something I started doing where I try to take a picture of myself every day and to really look at myself and see myself and
Mm.
without looking for
Yes,
something to criticize.
immediately.
Majority of us, once we see images of ourselves, oh my God, I look so fat. Oh my God, my hair is this. Oh my God, there's a catalog of everything that is wrong. And the list of what we think is right is so short or non-existent. So it's being able to look at that woman in that image and say, yes, you don't fit what society says, but you still deserve tenderness. You still deserve respect. You still deserve love. You are still worthy.
Welcome to This Queen Says, the podcast where we talk about the things we would say to our younger selves, our future selves, and get real about everything that has happened in between as we go on this beautiful, messy, yet incredible journey called life. I'm your host, Enitan, and the reason why this podcast is called This Queen Says is because I went to an all-girls school in Lagos, Nigeria called Queen's College, or QC for short. And I'll be sitting down with other old girls from QC to share the stories that shaped us, the moments that almost broke us, and the wisdom we've gathered along the way. I'd like you to think of this as a good old chat between old friends, the ones that make you feel seen, understood, and are invaluable in reminding us that we're absolutely not alone. So let's dive right in. And talking about not being alone, I am so honored that my very first guest is an old friend from school called Archie. So, Archie, okay, I love your laughter. Hello.
Hello. Hiya.
Hiya. How you doing?
I'm fine. I'm fine. Thank you.
Seriously, how long have we known each other?
Do you know how long have we known each other? We
I
since we're
don't know.
13, 14, I
Was it
think. Oh
before
my God.
QC?
No, it was QC. It was QC like JS2, JS1, JS2. Yeah, we've known each other. Oh my God. That's like 12, 13 or something like that. Yeah, yeah.
How?
It's been a
That's
while.
what, 30
Yeah.
years.
Oh my God. Yeah. I can't believe it's like almost 30 years ago we were at Queen's College. It's like, wow, like seriously, has it been that long? Like,
It
yeah,
has.
yeah, yeah,
It has.
yeah,
30 years, so much has happened.
yeah,
So much has
yeah.
happened. So we're recording this and they're using video, even though it's only audio. And I'm wearing my
Mm.
glasses and Archie's wearing her glasses. And I feel like it's a sign of our age.
I know, right? I still feel like me, but I know I'm not me. The world just sees you different, but you're still that crazy person, that snarky person that, you just, until someone comes and says, Good morning, Ma, and you're like, Are they talking to me? Is it me? Is it me?
Oh, I'll never forget the first time, the only time I will qualify that somebody called me mommy. Hello, mommy, go this way. Ah! I was like, no, 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 please. Please, never in your life call me mommy again.
You're
But
trying to show respect. And it's like, no, 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 that's not me. It can't be me you're referring to. I just noticed it. It's just like creeping up slowly where people started saying yes ma, no ma. Before it used to be yes auntie, but yes ma, no ma. I've not quite reached the mommy level yet, but it's like
what
yes
do you
ma, no
mean?
ma, and I'm like, okay, well, what
What do
can
you
I
mean you
say?
haven't quite
I
reached mommy
haven't
level
reached
yet?
it. I
Whatever.
don't look it. I don't look it. Listen, I'm just what it
It's not your fault. It's not your fault. So let's get into this. It's obvious to everybody listening that we've known each other for a long time, but I can't be too arrogant. So my first question is, Archie, we've just
is.
met at a QCOG reunion. Please tell me about yourself in 30 seconds.
In 30 seconds.
30
Okay.
seconds.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Archibong. I went to Queen's College. I am now a content manager in a global software company. I tell stories that sell software, supply chain software to be specific. That's what I do. It's 30 seconds.
You undersell yourself. You're like a boss lady. Aren't they flying you here, there, and everywhere?
Do you know? Yeah, but that word boss lady is the thing that I really hate. For me, maybe it just has more negative connotations because all my life everyone has been saying you're strong, you're this, and strong has never,
Mm.
it's never translated to anything positive. It's always translated into suffering. Strong means you're lifting the load that nobody else wants to lift. You're lifting more than you need to lift. You're trying to prove something to everyone and to yourself. It just doesn't track with me anymore.
What you said about anymore? I remember when I was younger, maybe it was around the time when my mum died, and when I was in like
Mm,
mid-30s. And like, oh, you're so
mm,
strong, or you're so strong, you're much stronger than you give yourself credit for. And at the time, it was like, well, I've got shit to do. I've got to get on and do stuff. I can't,
exactly.
break down and cry. And then when my dad died, it's gonna sound very morose, but it's not. A couple of years ago, they were like, oh, you're like a man. You're the man. And I didn't find that a compliment. I'm sure they were complimenting me, but I
Exactly,
wasn't finding it a
exactly,
compliment.
exactly. And that's the way it is. And that's what I've always heard from people. I've spent like um, a good 15 years in caretaking mode after my father died in 2008 Christmas. And everything was just plodding along in London with my business. Then my mom fell ill and
Mm.
everything fell apart for a while. And it was like, do I stay in London and just pretend everything's okay, or do I come back? So coming back and spending that time in that caretaker mode, oh my God, you're so strong. You're doing what other people can never do. Oh wow, you're like a man. You're kind of taking care of business, all the businesses plus taking care of your mom. Oh my God, and I'm like, actually, that's because there's no one else to do it. I don't really want to bring the race card into this. You see a lot of black women, we do this a lot where we
Yeah.
just keep carrying that load and keep trudging along. We spoke about this the other day, the whole Sex and the City thing. You want to show the world you're a boss. Yeah, maybe in your 20s you want to do that, but you get to your 30s, you get to your 40s, it's like, you know what? I'm not trying to prove anything, even to myself. I don't need to prove anything anymore. So no, I don't want to be the boss lady. I just want to be me, and I just want to have a good life surrounded by people that I love, people that want to be around me, and I like to be around them. It's really that simple. I'm really basic at heart, aren't I? But that's it. Both of us lost our parents, and you know that we spoke about this
Mm.
where your whole identity changes.
Yeah.
You're still
Yeah.
you, but
But you're not.
yes, you're no longer the princess. You're no longer somebody's daughter. Suddenly, life looks different. The things that you used to think were so important, yeah, it's not a priority anymore. Unless you want it to be a priority, it just does not matter as much as you think it should. So that's where I am at the moment, where just seeing what life comes up and then responding to it. Does it mean I don't have ambition? No, but it just means it's not life and death anymore.
It sounds like you're entering your soft life era. Maybe not entering. Maybe it's always been there. There's just been other things
Yeah,
that have masked it or taken your
yeah.
attention away from it.
You get distracted from it. Yeah,
So maybe it's
yeah.
not about entering our soft life era. Maybe it's just,
Returning to it.
yes, returning to it. Speaking of
Yeah.
returning, that's a beautiful segue to my first proper question.
Yeah.
We've already established that we're in our 40s. It is what it
Mm.
is. So, what would you say to yourself as a JS1 girl about to start QC?
As a JS1 girl, I was 11 years old, 10, 11. So looking back, I would say to that girl, look, it's going to be tough. There's no two ways about it. You're leaving home for the first time. You are going to be with people that you do not know. Everything is going to be new. You are going to find it hard. So the one thing I would say to you, this 11-year-old girl, is do whatever you need to do to survive. You're going to need to learn how to communicate with people. You're going to need to learn how to get along with people, even if you don't like them. And you're going to need to know when to speak and when not to speak. You're going to need to just learn how to live a life of exchange. It's give and take, and sometimes it's not going to be fair. A lot of the times it's not going to be fair in your first year, but it is survival. You're going to meet a lot of bullies, And you're going to be in a place where you have an 11-year-old and you have
Yeah.
18-year-olds all in the same place. I mean, it's crazy
Yeah.
thinking about it now. I would never do that to my child. But that was the time that we were in. Like I said, 30 years ago, where we're all living with 18-year-olds. Some of these girls were like 19. They were like giants, Jesus,
They
you
were
know.
so tall.
She
They
was
were well developed. Yeah.
well developed, everything. They look like grown women. You were like, oh my God. And you're living with 11-year-old girls. And so you can imagine the fear that you're just trying to survive, learn how to speak to people, learn how to get along with people, because not only will that help you, I mean, that's the skill that has kept me to this day. I can speak to pretty much anyone. I'm that sort of person now where it doesn't matter where I am, I can get along with anyone. I don't have to like you, but I can find common ground with you.
I've seen you in action when you can literally just talk to anybody about anything, and your laugh has always
Mm.
been so infectious and booming. Is it because of your formative years, as you call them, or do you think it's always been part of who you are?
I think it's a bit of both. And it ties into what we were saying at the start of the conversation, where you're just lifting load that, look, there's no one else to do it, so you just end
Mm.
up doing it. And that experience exposes you to a lot of situations, a lot of people. You're going to have to talk to people, whether you want to or not, because you need to solve this problem. And it's always been like that from a very early age. I guess I'm also the middle child, so there is part of that dynamic where the firstborn is always, oh, my life is coming to an end. The lastborn is, well, the lastborn. So, so you're the middle
My
kid.
life will never come to an end.
And then, it's always the drama, with the firstborn.
I'm a firstborn. Thank you very much.
Well, but you understand what I'm saying. I mean, your brother came much later, so I would
Fair,
call you an only child for a long time
fair,
rather than a
fair, fair,
firstborn.
fair, fair.
You know, So you're the middle child trying to carve out something for yourself. Sometimes everyone just assumes you're okay. The one that makes the most noise is the one that needs attention. So going back to this 11-year-old, I would say you're trying so hard, you're acing the exams. That comes from this middle child syndrome to get noticed. You're not causing trouble. You don't want anyone to complain about you. That is not going to be enough as you're starting JS1. Now you need life skills. And, she's going to keep coming back to complain. And I'm going to tell her, put your head down and just learn to survive. And that's it, really.
This survival tactics, do you think it's something that you picked up along the way? Did you watch people around you?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's human instinct. You're watching the other people that were there, maybe people in JS2, because the JS3 girls were already quite different. So you're learning from them. You're trying different things. You find your rhythm, and then you will refine it as time gets along. And then, the more confident you are in yourself, the easier it gets. At least that's how it was for me, anyway. Yeah.
Fair, fair. Because I was a day student, my experience was definitely different. I can't say it was easy. I permanently wear rose tinted glasses.
Yeah, for
You
sure.
know, I
For sure.
do.
For sure.
I do. I do. I haven't even asked myself this question. I don't even know what I would say to my JS1 self. So something I will definitely think about. So jumping forward to you being 25,
Mm.
same question. What would you ask yourself as a 25-year-old woman?
I would tell my 25-year-old self to slow down. You're not missing out. There's something that I think a lot of 20-year-olds tend to feel. They feel that they're not achieving everything
That
they want to
pressure.
achieve, and they feel, yes, there's pressure. They feel that they're getting left behind. They feel that they're getting old. It's strange. I'm in my 40s now, but I remember clearly sometime in my 20s, and I was like, oh my God, time was running out. Oh my God, I'm getting old. Literally, it just sounds ridiculous. So I would tell her, you need to slow down. This is a time where you're in this proving mode, and you already have this fairy tale idea of who you thought you were,
Yeah.
so you're
Yes.
pushing so hard to try to achieve that, and sometimes you're not even open to listening to advice. In a way, I'm hesitant to say, I don't know what I would say to my 25-year-old self, that she would be willing to listen to, because at that point she thought she knew everything.
Yeah.
She was that arrogant. That's why they say the arrogance of youth. She just thought she knew what she was doing, where she was going, and nothing was going to stop her. And that was how I was at 25. And I just looked at so many people with disdain if they weren't doing what they were meant to, So, I don't know. Literally, yeah, I look back and I'm like, wow,
Do you say arrogant? I would say feisty. I would proudly say I
do you
was really
understand?
feisty. But if I think about it, yes, I'm a bit arrogant.
Yeah, so arrogant. You look at people, how could they be doing this when they should be doing that? God forbid, can never be me. She should be doing this, she should be doing that. And you were so overly sensitive about being judged and all of that. And it was just exhausting. You are literally missing out on some of the best years of your life because you're busy trying to live out this life that doesn't necessarily belong to you.
In your head.
Exactly, it's in your head and you
Yeah.
picked it up from somewhere. Again, Sex and the
Sex in the
City and all this
City.
nonsense. And have you actually stopped to say, is this what I really want? You're just going on that wave and you want to prove that you are this boss chick. There's that word again. So I think I would tell her to calm down a bit. It's the easiest time of your life. So really immerse yourself in it. And the word for you during this period should be change. I know that everybody's looking for stability,
Interesting.
but change is really the name of the game. Do as many things as you can. Experience as many things
Yeah.
as you can. Go and date as many people as you can. Get that experience in there. No, seriously, I don't get it. You're in your 20s. What are you doing dating a one guy for like 7 years in your 20s? Are you kidding me? What do you know about what you know? Do you even know your body? Get as many jobs as possible, because when you do that,
Mm.
that's where you're building that experience. It's still following on from this thing of speaking to as many people. That's your network you're building. And that network is going to be your support system later on in your life.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
change should be the game. Don't feel that, oh my God, I didn't get this, or oh, this didn't last as well as I thought. Yeah, it's good. That should be what you're aiming for. I'm not going to be here more than 6 months. In fact, after 6 months, it's like, it's too long. Yes, they will call you flighty. Yes, they'll call you all kinds of names. But you know what? It's okay. Because now you have this bag of experience. You have a wider breadth of life. Maybe it's not deeper, but it's wider. Do you see what I mean?
Mm.
The
Yeah.
depth of
Yeah.
life will come
Yeah.
with age, because you get to your 30s. Some of us are already getting married. We're settling down. So life is beginning to narrow a bit. Even if you wanted to, it's going to be a lot more difficult to plan things out. You now need permission. You can't just up and leave. So
Mm.
life gets a bit more narrow but deeper. That's what I would say to my 25-year-old self, because I was very, very serious at 25. Again, it was this thing of taking responsibility up from a very early age. For a long time, I always thought if everyone is okay, then I will be okay. It's a crazy way of looking at things, but a lot of us do that. You spend your time investing in other people, and you don't even realize that that's the pattern that is playing out. It takes self-reflection to say, hang on a minute, actually, whether I'm here or not, they're still going to have to do life.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
Yeah. Yeah.
matter.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter in the long, but when you're in it, it just seems like this life and death thing. As long as they're okay, then they'll leave me alone, and then I will be
Mm.
okay. Because if they're not okay, they're probably going to call, and then I have to pick up this burden, this extra load. And because I don't want to pick up the extra load, I'm going to try and make sure they're okay. The human mind is a strange thing. It always finds crazy ways of solving problems that are not necessarily helpful in the long run.
But do you think we had the experience though to know what was right, what was wrong, long term, short term?
I think it's not necessarily having the experience. This is what I said. Constant change exposes you to different people, different
Mm.
things. And so
Yeah.
then you're seeing how this person is doing it. Oh, we're having the same experience, but she's doing it different. When you're staying in one place, you just assume that everyone is doing the same
The
thing
same.
the same way.
Would you say that 20s is about making a mistake? You,
Yes.
you do things, you
Yes.
change, you learn.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to permit myself to have the experience. I'm not here to be perfect. In fact, I want to be as average as possible because being
Wow.
average means the pressure of perfection is off me. I don't want to be first place. I'm definitely going to be last. I'm just going to go in there and have the experience for what it is.
I
You
have a
know?
friend, you know her, Abba.
Yeah.
Abba would say she's tired of hearing the phrase black excellence. Why can we
Yeah.
not just be like, just be black? Just be yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly. Just be average.
just be
Just be
average.
average. I swear that's what I tell myself all the time. I do.
Just be average. I don't remember the last time I ever told myself just be average. I don't think I've
Oh, I do
ever
that every
told
day.
myself just be average.
I do that every day. And do you know that it is what tricks your mind to just chill out? You know, it's like chill the fuck out. We're not trying for anything perfect. We're not trying to get the first prize here. We just want to go in, chill out, get a bowl of rice and some chicken and just do what we do. Do you see? Just, I mean, do you see how my voice is? It's just really middle
It
of the
is.
line.
It
Suddenly,
is.
my mind is like, oh, okay, I don't need to strive. I don't need to perform. Okay, I'm just gonna let you go. But when you
Even
go in there thinking, oh my God, I need to be on my best behavior, I need to show myself, your mind just goes into hyperdrive and then it's telling you, oh my God, you tripped. Oh my God, your dress is ripped. Oh my God, your hair. Oh my God, your nails. Is it good enough? Oh my God, how could you have said that? Oh my, you know?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
But when you're
20s.
just saying, I just want to be average now, I'm just going in for the rice. In fact, I'm not even going there to chat with anyone. I just want rice and chicken. That's what I'm going for. You see what I mean? You see, the
I
bar
do.
is set low.
I do. Would the advice change when you're in your 30s?
Well, Elizabeth at 35, that's when my caretaking journey began, you know? So
Mm.
I would say self-abandonment is a big thing. A lot of us are married. A lot of us are taking care of sick parents, taking care of kids. So you are abandoning yourself in one way or the other. And you need to understand that when you lose yourself, you lose everything. For me, it was taking care of my sick parent. And again, there's the mental thing of trying to prove your worth.
To who are you proving it to?
I don't know, to yourself, to everyone around. Maybe your 20s didn't pan out the way you thought, and now the pressure is even more. I left everything behind in London. I had entered into a threshold moment. Who am I without all these things? I'm taking care of a sick parent. I don't necessarily have a job. So now
Yeah.
I've lost myself, lost my identity, and I'm now deep in the trenches of just getting things done.
Coming back to what we said about your being strong, you're being a man, and all of that.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. You're so strong. God will bless you. You blah, 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 all of that. I don't regret doing that, but I think the danger of abandoning yourself to be strong for other people, you need to put yourself first. And putting yourself first does not mean you are abandoning all these other people. You need to come first because when you are full, then you have something to give.
What advice does Archie give herself when she's looking in the mirror?
Um,
And what do you say to yourself?
Well, the advice I would give myself now is you've got nothing to prove. You're doing just fine. You know how
Yeah.
I started this by saying I'm very basic at heart. I just want to be with people that want to be with me and I'm happy. You do it because you choose it as a priority, not because it is a priority that is placed upon you, but because it is a priority that you have chosen.
Not behind. Ah, that
You're
pressure.
not behind.
Yeah.
You have never been behind. Your journey is different. Like I said, both of us, we've lost our parents now, but a lot of our friends are literally just starting the journey of taking care of their parents.
So true.
So it's just different phases of life,
Very
you know.
true.
And then there is the fact that I get to choose what is a priority. When my mother died, I found her body and it just clarified things for me because I had done the renovations for her, I had done everything, the house was looking beautiful, but there she was in her beautiful bed and it was just her body.
Hmm.
And it struck me that you can't take it with you. I said this to you before. You can't, I mean, you can't even take your body with you. You leave your own body behind, for crying out loud. So in the grand scheme of things, what is so important then? What am I fighting for? What am I pushing so hard for? Name one thing that you think, oh, okay, yeah, this, if we don't do this, the world is going to come to an end. I mean, I can't take it with me, and life will go on when I go,
Yeah.
because life did go on after she did. I was sitting here with this dead body, and people were still going to work, and here I was in this situation.
When my dad died, it was the biggest and worst thing that could have happened. And I just didn't understand how people were laughing
Yeah,
and eating. And I'm like, can you not see that my life is
yeah,
completely shifted?
yeah, you know? Can you not see something has happened? Can you not see the ground has shifted underneath you, that nothing is the same ever again? It can never be the same. And telling you how strong you are, or telling you, oh, it was her time to go. And you're like, I just think people usually do not know what to say. They're very awkward about.
True.
I just realized that now, so there's no need getting obsessed about it. But I just think you can't take it with you. And if I can't take it with me, what am I struggling for? You know, it's not that serious. It really isn't that serious.
Mm.
It only becomes serious if I say it is serious, and then I give it the focus and intention that I want to give it. But otherwise, and at any point, I
Girl,
can withdraw my focus from
girl.
it. I can withdraw my intention from it. I permit myself to do that.
What you said about removing your attention, I felt this way about WhatsApp. And I was like, people from all sorts just have
Mm.
access to me because of WhatsApp. I don't know who you
Yeah.
are, and you're sending me a
Yeah.
message with
Mm.
an expectation that I will now respond and answer you. Like, who? No, 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 no,
Understand?
no, 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 no.
Don't understand. In fact, for me now, I always have a 24-hour response rate now. I don't care who you are. Don't laugh. Honestly, I don't care who you
I
are.
don't think I'm on that list. I think I get responses from you.
No, you're not. But for the most part, if you're asking something of me, okay, I'm gonna need time to sit with it, to feel it out, because how I'm feeling in this moment may
Interesting.
not be how I feel. You know, I could tell you yes now. Yeah, I could tell you yes now, and then in 24 hours, I'm
But
like,
you've already committed, and then you then have to be like, I'm really sorry, or
do you
go,
get what I
yeah.
mean? I'm sorry, I have to be that cow that says I'm not doing it, and you know I will be that cow.
You've always been that
You
cow.
know, so I
But you have
try.
also that person to be like, I beg, I've changed my mind.
Yeah, Jordan. Yeah. I beg. I've changed my mind. I'm not doing it again. I don't want to do. So it's that kind of a thing. I've gotten to the stage where I understand what my design is, and my design is that I need to wait to respond to things. So I guess that's what my 40s is about. It's really slowing things right down. Even my thinking has slowed down a lot.
Is that hormones? Is that age?
I don't know, no. Well, no, because I know people in their 40s that are still, yeah, yeah, let's do this. But you do kind of slow down, but they're still kind of blaming themselves. But for me, it was deliberate because again, when you're in that caretaking and for me, things just started slowing down. A lot of friends definitely fell off because I was not living that London fast life anymore. Have my own business, doing my own thing. So
Looking fly.
and looking fly. So that falls off because now we're talking about big girl stuff. You need to pay hospital bills. There's a
Big girl
surgery
stuff.
coming up. You need
Yeah.
to pay off the mortgage. You know, you're facing death every day. It's too much for some people.
I was definitely, as you know me very well, with somebody who would live in my own little bubble, head buried in the sand. I'm sure you told me many times, Anita, you know,
For
you
sure.
can't hide. Yeah, yeah, you would say I'm worried about you a lot.
I worried about you a
And
lot. I
then
did. Yeah.
shit happens, and then you were forced to confront what you said, the big girl thing.
Yeah. 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 So for my 30s, it was big girl stuff. You know, you're paying off the mortgage. You're taking care of an aging parent, sick aging parent, your hospital bills, this, that, you have to pay salaries, you have to
Hmm.
deal with the bank, there's debts that need to be paid, so now you're learning how to negotiate with the
Can
bank.
you negotiate with the bank? I thought it was literally like they send you a letter. You're like, ah.
Of course you can. Of course you can. Of course you can. So now you're learning how to negotiate payments with the bank and learning how to restructure debt. And suddenly it takes me about 7 years to do all of that,
Hmm.
pay off the mortgage, pay off everything, and get us back to even keel. And then she died this year, of course. I think you asked me about knowing yourself.
Yeah.
For me, it sped up because there was a lot of self-reflection. You're wondering where you're going, if you're even going in the right direction. But by the time I had hit
Yeah.
40, my 40s are more about just being unapologetic about it. That's the word I'm looking for. You're not apologizing for being who you are. You're not apologizing for for your needs.
Because there's nothing wrong with who you are, or there's nothing wrong with your needs.
Yeah, exactly. There's nothing wrong with taking up space. You're not going to delete
Oh,
yourself
yeah.
because you don't fit a certain aesthetic. There was something I started doing where I try to take a picture of myself every day and to really look at myself and see myself and
Mm.
without looking for
Yes,
something to criticize.
immediately.
Majority of us, once we see images of ourselves, oh my God, I look so fat. Oh my God, my hair is this. Oh my God, there's a catalog of everything that is wrong. And the list of what we think is right is so short or non-existent. So it's being able to look at that woman in that image and say, yes, you don't fit what society says, but you still deserve tenderness. You still deserve respect. You still deserve love. You are still worthy. Seeing the journey, you've come a long way and you have done a lot and you deserve to be seen. So it takes a lot to be able to do that and confront your mind and what your mind thinks about you. And there's a lot of this
Yes.
habitual conversations and insults that you throw at yourself. I was doing a workout and I was like, oh God, I'm so exhausted. And already my mind just took up on that. Oh my God, can't even lift your legs. You're so this, you're so that. And I thought, wow, okay.
But if it was a friend, you wouldn't say that.
She see what I
Yeah.
mean? Exactly. And I said, but I showed up. I did the workout. I didn't go back to bed. So for me, that's good. Today I'm just being average. And average means you show up. So the threshold has been met. I did show up.
So you mentioned that you used to take pictures every day. Do you still take pictures every day?
I do. Every single day, I just take a selfie of
I
myself and
love
I,
that.
I see the changes. And I realize that when I compare pictures, there's a softness now I see in my eyes. My features are just a lot more relaxed and softer than they used to be. Like even 6 months ago, there was this hardness in my eyes, like, you know,
You're carrying so much and you don't realize it, and
exactly,
it's there.
exactly. So it's when you're looking at these images that you're looking at this woman, you're like, wow, okay, she's looking tired. The smile is forced and you can see her eyes and she's wondering, oh my God, will I look okay in this image? Should I turn my body this way? Should I, I'm like, you know what? Everybody already sees you, no matter what you wear or how you. Do you see
No,
what
it's
I
so
mean? Do you
true.
see what
It's
I
so true.
mean?
I remember when I was younger, I felt my breasts could be bigger. Really wanted to get them done. Saved the money in the end. I think I bought a bag. Anyway, I started thinking about wearing push-up bras. I thought it was like false advertising. Obviously, I was at that age. I was like, boys, boys, boys. They see me, the nice bras, the boobs are looking
Hmm.
nice and pert, and then when you take everything off, you're like, ah, auntie,
Yeah.
how far the slippers?
It's,
But I think it's kind of coming back to kind of the things that we say and look at ourselves and the pressure we put ourselves on for no reason
yeah.
whatsoever. But we do this to
Yeah.
ourselves.
No reason
We do this to
whatsoever.
ourselves.
Do you understand? Because there's exactly, and it's like who was it I was saying this to? I said it was one of my niece, and I said to her, I said, look, if you are naked with a guy, I assure you, he's not thinking about the things you're thinking
We
about. He's
managed
just
to
happy
get
that you're naked in front of him. He's just like thrilled. She's, what I mean? He's just so thrilled that he managed to get you naked. That's all
Oh,
he's not thinking about whether you've got like some belly roll here, but he's like,
yes.
wow, okay, she's naked. He's happy. He's happy because if he didn't want to be naked with you, he wouldn't have even bothered. And everybody has their type, and everyone has their type. So it's not like he didn't know you had belly rolls before he
He might
tried to get
even
you
like
naked.
the belly
Do you get
roll.
what I mean? Even if you have like your shapewear, exactly. Even if you had your shapewear, you're still a big girl. A big girl's a big girl. You just can't hide some things. So I'm. At this point, maybe I'm just at the phase of life I'm in right now, but there's just some things that you just have to simplify it down to brass tacks, and that's what it is. It's
I
just
love that. So jumping ahead, 65.
65.
What are you saying to your 65-year-old self?
By the time I'm 65, I would like to think that I've done the whole
Mm.
financial thing. I'm comfortable. I would be, first of all, saying to her, listen, this is it. 5 more years are going to be 70, and you're hitting the last chapters of your life. So, again, this is where you double down on nothing to prove, but
Mm.
you're ready to share. So you're just sharing your life with as many people that want to share it with you. You are, in a way, going back to your 20s, but in a more refined way, because now you're having even more experiences, because you now have the money to really fund it. You are meeting more people, possibly people younger than you. Younger people make you see life in a
Yeah.
different way. I mean, even now in my 40s, I love hanging out with kids because of the simplicity with which they see life. They just make you see things different.
And do you think you'll still be taking pictures of yourself every day?
Taking pictures of myself was more, it's more teaching myself to accept myself where I am in the moment and say, okay, you may not fit this ideal picture, but you are still worthy. You still have something to offer. In fact, I tell you the story. This came from a woman. She was actually trending on Instagram, and she has a really large nose. It's like abnormally large. She took this selfie of herself, and she put it on Instagram, and she was just talking about the facial that she had, and she was genuinely really lovely woman. And suddenly she just started getting all these comments on the post, and the post went viral. And she didn't know why the post went viral. And then she started reading, and it was people telling her she should delete the photograph because she was so ugly that she had to delete the photograph. And nobody was even talking about
The
the fact
message.
that, oh, she was just saying, do you see what I mean? The message. It was more that, oh my God, you're so ugly. Oh my God, you need to get work done on yourself, or take up the photo. How could she be so brave to put up that photograph of herself? You know? And it, for me, it was so hateful, just reading. I couldn't even go to the depths of it. And I think People magazine picked it up, and she was adamant, and she said, no, I'm not going to take down the photograph. And she said, I know that I am not beautiful. I know this, but
Yeah.
I still have something to offer. I still have a voice, and my voice is worth hearing. And I think that makes me worthy of being heard. I think that makes me a pretty decent person. I think that that's special in its own way. That, just because I do not fit, or just because I am not aesthetically pleasing, does not mean that I must delete myself to make other people comfortable. And so she didn't.
I love
And
that.
she has been putting up photographs of herself every single day, talking about, products that she's using. She just takes pictures of herself. And it triggered something in me because at that time I was going through a lot, and I had taken a photograph of myself. I was trying to do some government thingy, and I didn't like this photograph. I was like, oh my God, I look so awful. I look so this, I look so that. What's my hair looking like this? What's my hair? And it was almost as if that message was for me because it just came at the right time. And I had to stop and say, hang on a minute. despite all these things that my mind is telling me is wrong with me,
I'm okay.
I'm okay.
It's so interesting about the pictures and selfies. Like when I was young, I hated taking pictures of myself. Thought I was, I wasn't pretty enough. My nose is quite big. But I think it's probably been in the last
Yeah.
maybe 3 or 4 months, actually, that I've started taking selfies. I'm like, you know what? I'm okay. I'm all right. But now I take them and I share them and I post them and I'm like, you know, it is what it
Yeah.
is. What it is.
And the world hasn't come to
Mm.
an end, has it? It hasn't come to an end. You know?
Love it. Love it. So, our time is almost up, but I do have the last section, which is what we call rapid fire questions. You haven't seen these questions before, so just answer
Mm-hmm.
honestly, first thing that comes to your mind. What's the last thing you do before you go to bed?
Gratitude. I just take some time to see how the day was and feel my way through it. And that's because it normally feeds into the morning. What I sleep with on my mind is what I wake up with on my mind. That's normally how it is.
Oh, that's such a mature, grown-up answer.
Is
Yes,
it? Well, that's it.
I,
But it really
I
is. It's gratitude.
makes me think I should do better because I end my day with Instagram. So God knows what my dreams are about. Okay, what is your favorite phrase?
It's not that serious.
Girl, it's not. It's not too. It's seriously. It's not that
It's
serious.
not that serious. Yeah.
What was the last film, book, or series that made you feel good?
Well, that's easy. I've been watching all these Chinese reels anyway, so it's not really. They're nice and easy, low pressure. They're bite-sized things. They have a beginning, have an end, and we move on. And
Do you remember the name?
oh my God, they always have all these cheesy names like my ex-bosses or like the royal consort gets revenge or something silly like
Ex-
or reborn in blood, vengeful consort, or something. You just want something light and easy. So that has gotten me through the whole grieving, and you don't want anything too heavy. So yeah.
Thank you, Archie. Thank you for being my first guest.
You're
Thank you
welcome.
for
You're
being so
welcome.
open and so honest. There's a lot that has stayed with me, and considering I know you quite well, there's some things you've shared. I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, my friend is quite wise though. Okay, fair.
Is she?
Yeah.
Look at that. I try my best as I do all the
Oh,
time.
thank you, darling. Thank you so much. Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're welcome.
Chatting to Archie made me think about the pressure that we put ourselves under when we are called strong. And do we actually think we can ever put down that label and tell someone, I don't want to deal with this? I'd love to know how this sat with you. Please send me a comment or an email at thisqueensays@gmail.com. Thisqueensays, all one word, @gmail.com. Or if you would like to be a guest on the show, or if you can think of somebody else who should, again, just send me that email and I'd get in touch.